how did you first decide to go after the lizardman? I mean, what an odd sort of off the beaten track topic. What drew you in that direction?
Well, it's kind of just happenstance in a way, although I was familiar with the story of this alleged lizard man in South Carolina. And after my first book, The Beast of Boggy Creek, it did well, and I thought, okay, this is good stuff. What would I want to do next? So as any rational person would do, I went on what I called a swamp tour, which entailed going to a variety of swamp areas in the southeast United States, which have legends and monsters and things associated with them. And while I was in Bishopville, South Carolina, visiting Skateboard Swamp, I met with a retired sheriff there and some people that had been involved in this case that was back in the 80s, and I found out there was a lot more to it. There were some police documents involved, and the police had been involved in this case where, a lot of these type things get dismissed by officials. But and then really what happened was I was there for a while, kind of interviewing people along with my associate Cindy Lee, and suddenly the newspaper showed up, and later I saw this article in the paper that says writer plans to write book on lizardman. So I thought, well, I guess I'm writing a book on the lizardman. So,
you got suckered into it.
So it just sort of happened that way, but it's truly a case that I was fascinated with, and one, like I said, I'd read about in bits and pieces in various books, but not one that had been explored at length.
So this is not something you had an experience with. This is something you went in as a journalist and, tried to learn as much as you can about.
Right. And in all the cases, my books are just basically, something between an investigative journalist and cryptozoologist, just somebody who's had a lifelong interest and fascination for people claiming to see what is essentially real-life monsters. And so, I'd love to investigate these cases and sort of, offer the facts and my observations from going to these places.